Okay, we're going to take a look at what you should do if you're trying to create a shared document that you can work on with a few of your classmates. So let's go into PowerPoint. This is probably the venue that you would use the most when working with another student. Let's take a design that's already been created. And you've now created a document that already has some templates in here, which is kind of nice to work with. You'll note as you're looking at this, we're working online, and we know that because there are the tabs up here for Chrome. You'll see that our presentation, the document we just created, is called Presentation 2. It becomes very confusing if you don't rename your document so you know what it is that you've worked on. Many times my students will not be able to find what they're looking for because all of their documents are titled Presentation 1, 2, 3, 4, 102, and so on. So use it to select here and you can update the name of your presentation. I'm going to call it Geography Introduction Project, and then put my name on it because sometimes it gets confusing when multiple students are working with things or you're trying to submit it. You want to make sure your name is very clear on there so your teacher can identify whose work it is. And let's say I'm working with a couple of other people. I'm working with Mrs. Peel, and I'm working with Mrs. Army, and I'm working with Mr. Holder. I'm going to put all of our names on there so that it's very clear to our teacher that we've all done this together. You can just hit the return or enter button, and you've now saved your document. You can see here it is, it's saved. And let's say we want to work on this together. We decide, all right, I'm going to work on slide 1, Peel, you'll take 2, Army, you'll take 3, and Holder, you'll take 4. So each of us have a responsibility, and we're working on individual slides. So I want to share that with all of my teammates so that we can have a successful project. So I'm going to hit the share button that's up here on the right hand corner. And now it's going to give me options of who I want to share it with. And all you have to do is start typing in people's names. You want to start with their first name. So I'm going to look up Mrs. Peel. There she is. I'm going to select her name. Then Mrs. Army. There she is. And then Mr. Holder. And there he is. So now I can add a message. Hey team, here is our project. And then you just hit send. And once you've done that, you've given the same rights to all of those people to be able to adapt and modify the project that we were working on. Again, if we're working together, sometimes it's easier to work in the online version because you can see live changes, but you can always still work in the desktop version by selecting Open in PowerPoint. Yes, you trust the document because you just created it. And even though we're working in the online version together, we still can be working on our project. In order to see any updates that you've made, you just have to save it. And now because we created it online and because I'm logged in, it already knows this is my project and it knows where I want it. So I can just hit save and it'll still be in my OneDrive. But I might want to reorganize it and put it other places. And you could hit save as, but when you create a save as document, it no longer is shared with those same people. So you want to be careful of sharing or saving different versions of a document because it'll change the sharing permissions. Okay, that was how to create a project online and to share it with your collaborators.